So, update from just outside of Troy, Texas, along Interstate 35. You know how I mentioned I did not like this road earlier on in the video? Yeah, I officially do not like this road. I had a tire blowout just now, rear driver. But yeah, I'm out here for 70 to 100 minutes. That sounds like default for we don't know when, until I can get towed to get the tire taken care of. Normally I'd be all about breaking out the jacks, but I'm literally on the shoulder of like one of the most dangerous interstates I've ever been on, and it's the tire facing the traffic. I'm sorry, just not gonna do that. Good thing I live in my van, because instead of being trapped in a car while I'm waiting on someone to get out here to help me out, I'm trapped in my house. We're parked here at Mecca for road trippers here in Texas. That means I'm at Buc-ee's. And just kind of catch my breath and go back over the last couple of minutes. Let family and friends know I'm back on the road. And also, our camp host knew some of us were traveling from afar. And you can't travel much farther than far in Texas and not hit a Buc-ee's. So they had a bit of a wish list. The only part I could remember was the salted caramel beaver nuggets, because they're also one of my faves. Got a couple more stops to make along with that surprise one I talked about. We're still going to get it in there. In the end here, a little final shout out to Dustin with Unlimited Towing. They're based out of Killeen, Texas. And he was super quick, super friendly, super professional. Got everything taken care of right away. Got Serenity off the freeway and to a tire repair place where we could safely change out that tire and get everything taken care of. All in all, good experience. Would totally use again. Hopefully don't have to. But Dustin, thank you so much, man. I hope you get to see this once this video goes out. ProMaster owners, if you did not get spare tire tools with your ProMaster, when you order your aftermarket jack and your tools for changing the tire and everything, make sure it has the piece required to go into the release crank for the tire. Yeah, no, I didn't have it. The tire guys didn't have it. They managed to make it work though. So, anyway, we're going to get back on the road. We're going to see that surprise stop of mine. We're going to run some errands for the folks out at camp. And then, hopefully before dark, maybe I'll be able to get some nice pretty pictures of where we're camping. Because I've seen some shots, guys, and it is gorgeous. I can't wait to show you. Hey everyone. Road trips, am I right? They just never seem to go exactly how you expect. All those glossy travel mags and blogs and Instagram accounts with the perfect highways and the perfect vans and just everything's perfect. No, they're hiding something. There's always that one pothole, that detour that adds 3 hours, the diner where you're pretty sure that wasn't actually beef on your plate. Now me, I've always been, I guess you could say, a problem solver. Something goes sideways and I jump into fix-it mode right away. Broke down on the side of the road, I have options. Wrong turn, I'll map us an alternate route. Drunk, aggressive jerkwad causing a scene at camp, don't ask questions, just know I've got it. But there's a downside to always being the guy with the plan. You get wound up kind of tight, and well, any spring when it gets wound up stands a chance of snapping. That's kind of the road that led me to become a part-time drifter. I'm trying to learn to step back and to see what happens when I don't try to control every twist and turn. It's about finding the cool stuff in the unexpected. The hole-in-the-wall barbecue joint you find because the interstate's backed up. Those folks you strike up a conversation with at a random gas station. And that weird roadside attraction you end up loving for no particular reason. Truth is, those unplanned moments, the ones that make you shake your head and laugh a little, those moments make the best stories. They're the proof that you let go and went with the flow instead of bulldozing your way through. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still a part of me that wants to fight back, to hustle, or to force things to go my way. That'll always be a tool on my belt, but I recognize that I need to practice being calm. Whether it's getting lost or having a tire blowout, I need to learn to enjoy the results of the unexpected. Sometimes you need to stand against the storm and refuse to give ground. Sometimes you need to sit back and enjoy the sound of the rain. So I'm out here doing my best to take this journey 1 mile at a time and be open to the good, the bad, and the downright bizarre. This isn't just about seeing the world around me. It's about seeing what a calmer, more adaptable version of myself looks like. And hey, maybe somewhere down a dusty back road with a sunset I've never seen before, I'll find a whole new kind of freedom. So yeah, we are on the last of the quote-unquote public roads. And public is very lowercase p in the case of some of these out here. We know our hostess family is just over. A lot of this out here is their land or whatnot. I don't know the full story. I know we have an awesome place we get to camp that she personally cut a road for, which is kind of amazing. Thus, salted caramel beaver nuggets. Because, yeah, people who go this far out of their way deserve treats. Apparently, this road is maintained by some of the neighbors, and there's a whole thing in and of itself, but we've got permission for it this weekend. Sounds like they may regularly have permission for it or something like that, which is awesome. You get out here into these kind of areas and folks just kind of work together. You know, it's pretty badass like that. I might have to beep that. That's an interesting thing while we're cutting through this road and getting a little bit of scenery. What's y'all's general thought about some of the awkward profanity here or there? Well, not awkward. I like to think I'm fairly eloquent when it comes to cussing. But, you know, I know the whole rules about YouTube. You can't drop any curse words in like the first 30 seconds of a video or something like that. And it's not like I cuss like a sailor, but I kind of like my audience's opinion, you know, because, you know, I can always go back through and cut stuff out and bleep things and whatnot. I've got that much editing knowledge. I can pull that off. So, yeah, you know, let me know in the comments down below or somewhere out there in social media land. And we've even got markers. Everyone was telling me this was going to be hard to find. Guys, nah, I'm not going to pick on you. Just, you know, have some faith in folks. So, I'm suspecting this would be our turn in right here for what I hear is the beginning of the climb up the hill. Yeah, Google's going to have us fairly well up this road, and we'll be well into Adventureland. Apparently we get a little narrow on some spots. As long as no one's coming down at the same time, we shouldn't have a problem. The great part about being out here in the hill country is, well, the hills are made out of rock out here. So even a freshly cut road like this one right here is pretty darn solid. This This is awesome. This is such a cool thing, especially, like, I'm sure there are bits of it in my footage and stuff, but you see all the signs on local businesses and stuff telling people, no parking here during the eclipse, or parking here during the eclipse, $50. You know, it's just kind of crazy. Here we go, some ProMaster mountain climbing, guys. This is going to be awesome. This is where it gets fun. Do. Let's hope that new tire I've got on the back here gets us through. Because, man, you want to talk about some hills. It's everything Serenity's got here to get us up this one. Woohoo! That was crazy. Note to self, low gear on the next time up over here. Actually, that might not be a bad idea in the end anyway. Let's see what we can do. I think we're through the worst of it. Yeah. We're practically all the way up to camp now. This is gorgeous. I've never gotten to camp in this environment before. I've been out to the hill country once or twice, even once here in Serenity when she was way less built out. I'll have some funny stories about that one day. But that was RV park camping and stuff. So, you know, it was much more put together. But really getting out of here in the sticks in this is kind of awesome. Like, I've gotten to do this in the Piney Woods, of course, and a couple of other places that maybe one day we'll get to tour through. You know, wild beach camping and whatnot. But this is a new experience, and I am digging it. It is so cool to get to see the hill country, the real hill country, this close. Murphy's Perch, yeah. I don't know if that's going to show up on camera. That's the name of this road out here. It's apparently a family friend who used to hunt up here or whatnot. Apparently used to come up here and take naps. Sounds like when I try to hunt. Now this is amazing. And just to think, guys, a couple of weeks ago, this was not a road. This was literally cut for this weekend as the inaugural camping trip. Speaking of, I am pulling up to camp, so we're going to cut the camera for now, and we'll get some shots and stuff and some voiceover. I don't know how much people want me running cameras at camp. Thanks, guys. The moment I rolled up to camp, I fell in love with this view. It was fantastic. And speaking of, it was fantastic to reconnect with old friends, and the energy of the new people I met was just infectious. Normally, I'm the type of guy that it takes a while to warm up in social situations. But maybe between the stunning scenery, the welcoming voices, and the campfire, it just all instantly put me at ease. With a whole day before the eclipse, I was excited to soak it all in, explore, and of course get some killer footage for B-roll. Speaking of, well, my B-roll skills could use some work. But hey, let's be honest. The whole reason I made this drive and you're watching this video is to see the eclipse. So let's get to the good part. It's mind-boggling when you stop to think about the forces behind an eclipse. We're on this little rock called Earth, zooming through a solar system that is in constant motion. And that solar system is just one tiny spot on the arm of one tiny galaxy that is itself spinning through space, heading towards the edge of an ever-expanding universe. Forget those plastic classroom models. Imagine that miniature solar system spinning so wildly you can't see it against a backdrop of swirling stars as it flies through outer space. That's a little bit closer to the reality of it. Each planet is not just moving in a circle, but tumbling on its own axis. A chaotic ballet compared to the smooth rotations we learned about in grade school. It's a testament to the wonders of science that we even understand these movements, let alone are able to predict such a precise event as an eclipse. Imagine yourself in the shoes of someone from an ancient civilization, whose world didn't come with an astronomy textbook. Suddenly, your life-giving sun begins disappearing, being bitten away by some monstrous shadowy force. Your world turns upside down. Your sun is consumed by a hungry beast in the sky. No wonder ancient people saw these events with a mix of reverence and terror. They were even more dependent on the rhythms of the sky than we are now. And when you compare that to the hustle and bustle of everyday life, perhaps that's something we could stand to rediscover. As amazing as the darkness of the eclipse was, eventually the sun fought its way back into the sky. And I stopped and I savored the magnitude of those last moments for as long as I could. But eventually, reality called. A long drive stretched ahead, compounded by traffic and fatigue of the weekend. But those endless hours on the road gave me time to think. Life on the road changes your idea of home. Sometimes there's that flicker of loneliness, paying for a familiar hug. Yet those moments make the rhythm of travel all the more comforting in a way. One adventure ends and another one is already taking root. Sure, the road can be a solitary place sometimes, but that's when the stars seem their brightest, and the call of the next destination grows even stronger. Hey everyone, I really hope you enjoyed coming along with me on my Eclipse adventure. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more part-time drifter. If you made it this far, I'd also like to ask you for just one more favor. I'm working on a van tour video. That way you guys can get to know Serenity a little bit better, see what we've done and what we've got to do still. If you could, go ahead and ask any questions you have about van life, how things work, what I have planned. You name it, ask it below, and I'll answer as many of those questions as I can in that video. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, drift on, my friends.